Alright, here's one of those blades that make you wonder. Is it a knife? Is it a sword? It's pretty large. Made by Schrade. Let's take a look. This is the Kukri machete. This is the larger of the two versions that they offer. This one is the 13.3 inch blade version, and the smaller one has a 9.9 inch blade. The powder-coated blade is made of 3CR13 stainless steel, which has a chromium content of 13% and a carbon content of 0.3%. That makes it pretty corrosion resistant and quite tough, but is not supposed to have the greatest edge retention. Somewhat on the soft side, 52 to 55 HRC is the hardness, which does seem like a reasonable choice to me for a hard use tool that will take a lot of impact stress, and just something that you want to be as durable as possible. The thick spine, of course, also contributes to that. So this is definitely not a blade that would break easily. If anything, it may be more likely to bend, which is easier to fix. The handle is extremely nice. If you look at the profile here, this is one of the most ergonomic handles that you can have. I don't think anything beats this in terms of how comfortable it is, how secure it is in the hand. It's just a great design. You have the palm swell here in the center. It widens towards the end to keep your hand on there. And just the profile here. So you can see that is definitely made to fit a human hand properly. It's rubberized, which makes it feel great in the hand and also offers plenty of traction. Let's check out the edge. Most machetes I've seen so far are not particularly sharp, quite often axe sharp at best, although some people would argue that an axe should be sharp. Very sharp, in fact. This is a lot better than your average machete, I would say. I took it out for some testing to see how well it chops and cuts, so let's take a look at that. Fantastic. I just chopped through this thing, but then I noticed the camera wasn't turned on. Hooray! Alright, let's do it again. As you can hopefully tell in the video, it bites in pretty deeply. There we go. As far as the handling is concerned, the grip seems to work nicely. Feels good in the hand, and the flared piece towards the end prevents the hand from slipping off like that. And I can definitely notice that as you're swinging, it does slide down naturally, but that's always a pretty good hold on there. And as you saw, the blade can handle even a thick piece of wood pretty well. This would be quite a nice chunk to process further to get firewood. The edge doesn't seem to have suffered from that. No damage at all, no rolling, no chipping. So as you saw, this is a very powerful tool. It chops wood easily, and it also cuts other organic matter very well. It's just because of the blade shape and the balance, there's just a lot of impact behind the swing and bites in pretty easily. Let's check out how the edge retention held up. So I haven't done anything to it after the testing. This is literally after I did that. You can even still see some of the marks here. I cleaned it off, but you can still see that it was used. And let's check out how the edge is now. That's pretty good. Let's see, I think the edge is a bit rougher than before. Cuts are not quite as clean, but it's really not a big difference. Of course, it always depends on what you compare it to. If you compare it to some of the higher end steels, you would probably be disappointed. But I mean, this is still a budget knife, especially for the size. You can find this for $33.95 at Knife Center, and for such a large blade, that is pretty cheap, especially considering how well it performs. And also, it is particularly cheap when you take a look at the sheath. This is one of the best sheaths I've seen so far, just in terms of functionality. It's pretty amazing how many options they give you. Like there is a shoulder strap, which even has this padded piece here for extra comfort. It has a loop here, you can put it on the belt. In there is another strap, quick release strap. Here is another strap for attaching to your leg. It's just a wide variety of options for this. And it's quite well designed. Put it in here. It's actually open here at the side, so it's easier to insert and withdraw. But there is also a snap button here, so you can close that to have it extra secure in there, so it's definitely not going anywhere. And you have another strap here, so this is extremely secure. I was especially impressed with the accessories that came with it, considering the price. It came with a fire starter right here. Let's test it out. Just gonna make sure I'm not setting anything on fire. Oh, dollar store bag, you're such a cheap bastard. Well, gotta save on everyday items so I can get more blades, right? So, let's see. Yeah, it obviously works. And then we also have a diamond sharpener. And that's pretty impressive, you know, for a bit over $30, getting that many accessories. Even at 40 or 50 bucks, I would say this is a pretty good deal. I'm very pleased with it. Like I said, the grip is excellent, very ergonomic, extremely functional, feels great. And the performance, well, you saw it yourself, definitely very usable for a variety of tough tasks. And by the way, I just have to mention that it's quite nice to actually get a machete that is very sharp out of the box. You know, considering that a certain company that boasts about having the world's strongest, sharpest knives delivers machetes that are completely dull, it's quite neat to have a very sharp, serviceable edge out of the box. So it should be pretty obvious by now that I would definitely recommend the Schrade Kukri machete. I just can't find anything to fault this thing for, which is in a way kind of annoying because I always like to include cons as well in my reviews, but I just don't find anything. I mean, sure, some people might say that the steel could be better, but at the price, could it really? And it does perform well, it does make sense. It's not the hardest, but you don't necessarily want that in a tool that sees such hard use. Oh wait, I could nitpick about one thing. I don't like the holes here. But that's just an aesthetic thing and it's a personal taste thing. So yeah, that doesn't really make it into the con list. Anyway, I hope this was informational and thanks for watching.